Hey there, finance fanatics. Welcome back to another episode of Finance Fanaticast, the show where we turn personal finance from that boring, scary topic you've been avoiding into something, dare I say, actually fun. I'm Anna, your personal guide on this wild journey to financial freedom. And trust me, I'm just like you, navigating the world of credit cards, budgeting, and yes, even the dreaded retirement planning, one step at a time. Now, you've probably heard that it's never too late to start saving, right? Well, I'm here to give you the brutal truth. Sometimes, it actually can be. But hey, don't panic just yet. Today, we're diving into why it's so important to get your financial house in order sooner rather than later, and how even small moves today can save you from massive stress tomorrow. We're going to talk about living in the now without wrecking your future, how to let compound interest do the heavy lifting for you, and why chasing the latest shiny thing can leave you broke and stressed. Sound familiar? Then this episode is definitely for you. Grab your coffee, your notepad, or maybe even that unopened budget planner sitting on your shelf. And let's dig in. The cost of living for today, how overspending now can lead to stress later. Alright, so let's talk about this living for today mindset. It sounds great, doesn't it? YOLO and all that. But here's the catch. If you're constantly indulging in the present without a thought for your future, you're setting yourself up for some major stress later on. I mean, don't get me wrong, enjoying life now is important. But the trick is finding balance, right? Think of it like this, you're 25, you've just landed your first real job, and you're making some decent money for the first time in your life. What's the first thing you do? Maybe you splurge on that new phone, those designer shoes, or a fancy trip with friends. No judgment here. But if you make that your routine, fast forward 10, 15, or even 20 years, and suddenly you realize, yikes, I don't have a safety net. That's when the anxiety creeps in, the stress starts piling up, and you might end up scrambling to play catch-up financially. Let me tell you about a friend of mine. Let's call him Dave. Dave was all about living in the moment. New car, dinners out every night, trips to Vegas, the whole deal. Fast forward a decade and Dave found himself staring down a mountain of credit card debt with almost nothing in his savings. And to help, his company downsized, and he didn't have an emergency fund to lean on. Dave's story is a harsh reality for so many people who live for today without thinking about tomorrow. The moral of the story? It's okay to live in the now, but don't do it at the expense of your future. Start planning today, even if it's just setting aside a small amount each month. Your future self will thank you. Why saving early is the smartest investment you can make. Alright, let's dive into one of the most powerful forces in personal finance, compound interest. Now, if you've ever heard people talk about making your money work for you, this is exactly what they mean. Compound interest is like that snowball rolling down a hill, picking up more snow as it goes. The earlier you start, the bigger the snowball gets over time. It's basically free money in the long run. Let's break it down with a simple example. Imagine you start saving just $100 a month at 25 years old. You do this consistently, and let's say you earn an average of 7% annual return on your investment. By the time you're 65, you could have well over $260,000. But here's the kicker. If you wait until you're 35 to start saving, you'd only end up with around $120,000 by retirement. Same monthly contribution, but a huge difference, right? That's the power of time and compound interest working its magic. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Anna, I don't have a ton of extra cash lying around. And that's okay. You don't need to start with massive amounts. The key is consistency, not quantity. Even if you can only save a small amount each month, it adds up. The earlier you start, the less you need to contribute to reach your goals because time is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Look, we all love instant gratification, but this is one area where patience really pays off. If you can resist the urge to spend every dollar today and instead put some of it to work for your future, you'll be setting yourself up for a much more comfortable financial life down the road. Trust me, your future self will be high-fiving you for starting early. Credit cards, friend or foe? Ah yes, the good old credit card. Is it your best friend or your worst enemy? Well, that depends entirely on how you use it. Credit cards can be a fantastic financial tool, but they can also become a dangerous trap if you're not careful. So, let's break down the pros and cons, because, like all things in finance, it's all about strategy. First, let's talk about the good stuff. Credit cards offer rewards, points, cashback, travel miles, you name it. If used wisely, they can essentially pay you for the spending you were going to do anyway. Imagine getting free flights or hundreds in cash back just for paying your bills or buying groceries. Sounds like a sweet deal, right? Well, it is, but here's where people mess up. They spend more than they can afford and carry a balance. The moment you start carrying a balance, that's when the credit card companies start to make their money off you. With interest rates that can soar into the 20% range, carrying debt on your credit card can quickly turn a small splurge into a financial burden. And before you know it, you're stuck paying off just the minimums while your balance balloons. Not so fun anymore, huh? So, how do you make a credit card your ally? First, only use it for purchases you can pay off in full every month. That way, you'll never pay a dime in interest. Second, choose a card that fits your lifestyle. If you're someone who travels a lot, go for a card with travel perks. If you're more about day-to-day spending, look for a card that gives you solid cash back on groceries, gas, and dining. The key is to maximize rewards without falling into the debt trap. In the end, credit cards are neither good nor bad. They are tools. If you use them smartly, they can enhance your financial life. But if you're careless, they can dig you into a hole that's hard to climb out of. So, which one will it be? Friend or foe? That's up to you. Fractional investing, building wealth with small sums. Okay, let's talk about investing, specifically fractional investing. If you've ever thought, I'd love to invest in companies like Apple or Amazon, but I don't have thousands of dollars to throw around, then fractional investing is about to be your new best friend. Here's how it works. Instead of buying an entire share of a company, which can be super expensive, fractional investing allows you to buy just a slice of a share. That means if a company's stock is trading at $1,000 a share, but you only have $10 to invest, no problem. You can own a fraction of that share, and your money still grows in line with the company's performance. Now, why is this such a game changer? Well, because it means investing is no longer just for the wealthy. You don't need to wait until you have a huge pile of cash to get started. Whether you've got $5, $10, or $100, you can begin building wealth today. And thanks to platforms like Robinhood, M1 Finance, and Stash, fractional investing is more accessible than ever. No more excuses about not having enough money to invest. Fractional shares have leveled the playing field. And don't just think stocks. You can now invest in real estate, artwork, and even cryptocurrency in fractional amounts. Want a piece of a rental property or a painting that's worth millions? You can invest in a portion of those assets for just a few bucks. It's like owning a little piece of the financial pie without needing the entire bakery. The bottom line is, if you've been putting off investing because you thought you didn't have enough cash, those days are over. Start small, start now, and let time and growth do their thing. Fractional investing makes it possible to start building wealth without waiting for that someday when you think you'll finally have enough. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Budgeting 101. Why setting financial boundaries is essential. Alright, now let's tackle the topic that everyone loves to hate, budgeting. I know, budgeting sounds about as fun as a dentist appointment, but hear me out. Budgeting isn't about depriving yourself of fun or cutting out all the joy from your life. It's actually about giving yourself the freedom to enjoy your money without the constant stress of wondering if you're going to make rent next month. Think of budgeting like setting boundaries in any relationship. In this case, it's a relationship with your money. You want to tell your money where to go instead of constantly wondering where it went. And here's the secret. Once you set those boundaries, you'll actually feel more in control and less stressed. A solid budget separates your needs from your wants, your essentials from your fun spending. For example, your rent, utilities, groceries, and savings goals are non-negotiable essentials, while things like eating out, shopping, and entertainment fall into the leisure category. The key here is to be intentional with your spending. Set aside a specific amount for each category so you know exactly what you can spend on fun without feeling guilty or worried about overspending. One pro tip: try setting up separate bank accounts for your bills and your leisure spending. This way, when you want to splurge on that weekend getaway or those concert tickets, you can look at your fun money account and know exactly what you have available without dipping into your rent or grocery money. It's a simple way to give yourself peace of mind while still enjoying life. Remember, a budget isn't a punishment, it's a plan. And the better your plan, the more freedom you'll have to spend without regret or stress. You work hard for your money, so make sure it's working for you, not against you. Retirement planning: start now or pay later. Let's talk retirement planning, a topic most people love to push off for future me to worry about. But here's the thing, future you is depending on present you to get started. I know it's tempting to think, I'll start saving for retirement once I'm making more money, or I'm still young. There's plenty of time. But the truth is, the earlier you start, even if it's with small amounts, the more secure your future will be. Here's why. The magic of compound interest we talked about earlier works wonders when it comes to retirement savings. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. Even small contributions add up big over decades. For example, if you start saving just $50 a month at age 25, by the time you hit 65, you could have close to $100,000, assuming a modest 6% return. But if you wait until you're 40 to start, you'd need to save more than triple that amount each month to reach the same goal. Let me tell you about my friend, Sarah. Sarah was the I'll worry about it later type when it came to retirement. She didn't start saving until her mid-40s, and now she's scrambling to catch up. She's having to work extra hours, cut back on her lifestyle, and stress about whether she'll have enough to retire comfortably. It's not a situation anyone wants to be in, but sadly, it's all too common. Don't let that be your story. Even if retirement seems a lifetime away, start now, no matter how small. Contribute to a 401k if your employer offers it, especially if there's a company match, because that's free money. If you're self-employed or don't have access to a 401k, open an IRA or Roth IRA. The key is to make saving for retirement a priority now, so your future self isn't stuck working longer or living with financial stress. Trust me, starting early will give you options later in life. It's not just about saving money, it's about buying yourself the freedom to enjoy your golden years without worry. Why chasing appearances can hurt your future. Alright, now let's talk about one of the biggest traps that so many of us fall into: chasing appearances. You know the drill: scrolling through social media, seeing your friends driving new cars, posting vacation pics from some tropical island, or rocking the latest designer clothes. It's easy to feel like you've got to keep up with all that, right? But here's the hard truth. Trying to impress others can seriously damage your financial future. We live in a world where it feels like everyone's trying to flex their success. But here's the thing. Many of those people you see living that glamorous life are doing it on credit. They might have the shiny car, but they also have the huge car payment. They might take those luxury trips, but they could be drowning in debt afterward. The price of trying to look successful is often way more than the temporary feeling of fitting in. Let's look at this through the lens of financial security. Imagine you have a choice. You can buy that new $1,000 phone, or you can invest that $1,000 in a stock portfolio. Sure, the phone might get you a few compliments today, but in 5 years, that $1,000 could turn into $1,500 or more through smart investing. And trust me, financial security will make you feel way more confident in the long run than any gadget ever could. It's not about never enjoying the finer things in life. Of course, you should. But it's about making sure those things fit into your bigger financial picture. Buy the car, but only if you can truly afford it. Go on the vacation, but don't drain your savings or rack up debt to do it. Keep your focus on long-term goals, like building wealth and securing your future, instead of trying to win that who's got the coolest stuff game today. Remember, real wealth isn't about showing off. It's about having the freedom and security to live life on your terms, without worrying about money. So the next time you feel tempted to splurge to keep up with someone else, ask yourself, is this really worth it? Your future self will thank you for focusing on what really matters. Growing your income, the key to financial freedom. Now, here's the part where things get exciting: growing your income. I'm a firm believer that while saving and budgeting are crucial, increasing your income is the ultimate key to financial freedom. You can only cut back so much on expenses, but there's no cap on how much you can earn. That's the real game changer. The good news is, we live in a time where there are more opportunities than ever to increase your income, whether it's through side hustles, freelancing, investing, or advancing in your career. Let's break it down a bit. Side hustles are a great way to bring in extra cash without quitting your day job. Whether it's driving for a rideshare service, freelancing your skills online, or selling handmade goods, the possibilities are endless. And here's another tip: invest in yourself. By that, I mean gaining new skills or certifications that can help you move up in your current job or transition into a higher paying field. It could be anything from learning how to code, taking a business course, or even mastering public speaking. The more valuable you make yourself in the marketplace, the more you can command in terms of salary or fees. Let's not forget about investing your money, either. By putting your money to work through stocks, real estate, or even starting your own business, you're creating additional streams of income. It's like planting seeds that grow over time, bringing you closer to that ultimate goal of financial freedom. And here's the kicker: increasing your income gives you options. It allows you to save more, invest more, And yes, enjoy life more. Imagine being able to take that dream vacation, buy your dream home, or retire early, not because you scrimped and saved every penny, but because you built multiple streams of income that gave you the freedom to do so. The bottom line is, don't just focus on cutting costs, focus on expanding your income. Whether through your career, side hustles, or smart investments, the opportunities are out there. You just have to go after them. And there you have it, folks. Another episode of Finance Fanaticast in the books. Yeah, we covered a lot today, from the dangers of living only in the present to the power of starting small and the importance of growing your income. I hope today's episode left you feeling not only informed but inspired to take action. Whether that's finally sitting down to make a budget, setting up that investment account, or just rethinking your spending habits. Remember, personal finance isn't about being perfect. It's about making small, consistent choices that set you up for success in the long run. Whether you're just starting out or looking to fine-tune your financial game plan, know that you've got what it takes to reach your goals. And hey, don't be afraid to have a little fun along the way. Thanks for joining me, Anna, your financial sidekick, on this journey to financial freedom. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a friend who might need that extra nudge to get their finances in check. Until next time, keep investing in your future, because your future self is counting on you. Catch you later, finance fanatics.